think I'm lying. I think
and lying about all other things in their life.
Now, the conversation here is going to take on what you think is wrong with feminism in the modern age, but I think you wrote well, and I want you to expand on this, about the noble good purpose of feminism in the first place.
Feminism began with, super honest roots that I feel like a lot of people, most people, can get behind, which is giving women the right to vote, giving women the right to be considered as people, to have their voice heard, in all levels of life. And that is not what feminism means today. And you've seen, just the progression of where feminism has gone, and now it's kind of one of those terms where you don't want to bring up in a dinner party situation or anywhere, quite frankly, for fear that you're going to cause some raised eyebrows and people choking on their drinks.
I want to read something from your piece that really struck me. The original foot soldiers of the feminist movement didn't want every woman to vote for the same party or to stand in alignment on every issue. They just wanted women to have the opportunity to have their voice heard. And you're right. It wasn't, you must become part of this, and when you get the vote, you must vote for so-and-so. But I think ardent feminism right now tries to define one way for women to live, which seems the opposite of what ought to be happening.
And that is my biggest criticism of feminism today, is that we are squashing ourselves by not allowing a difference of opinion or a difference of thought or a difference of a standpoint on various issues. And instead we're saying to be a feminist means these certain things. You vote this way, you believe in this, you don't believe in this, and that is excluding more of us than it is including us.
My wife was telling me yesterday about people saying to her when she was younger, well, you have to do this and this, you need this career path, you have to go this direction, whether that's what you want to do or not, to honor those women who came before you and made it possible for you to do that. And, I'm thinking, no, they made it possible for you to make a choice, even if they don't have a choice.
Exactly. It's all about, having the freedom to choose what you want to do. And, there's so many different layers to this, but we can't be saying that women who choose to stay home and raise children are disempowered. We can't be saying that. In the same way that necessarily going into a career path means that you are empowered. It's a choice.
Right. It's just something that you want to do.
And I feel like we should be supporting that and not putting
Bitch, hold it down.
I think that there's a problem for women who might embrace what has been known as a more traditional lifestyle. I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom, and I'm going to raise my kids and do fundraisers for the school and things like that. And there are ardent feminists today who they look down on that.
And I've experienced that because my mom stayed home for 20 years. And my mom, now, after staying home for so long, is now in politics and a supervisor at a gym and doing all these amazing things. But I remember she'd have comments made to her, like she was selling herself short or she was holding herself back or any of these things just because she wanted to stay home and raise children. And that's wrong.
Now, just to respond to what you and I were talking about before the break there, Katie, we have a text message here.
Focus you, Katie.
About how there are modern feminists who maybe came up in your ages and never realized they want a whole lot of stuff, that look down on women who stay home and raise their kids. And here's the response from one person listening. Why would a woman give up her right to work? I find that women from different cultures, including the Western culture, choose not to work because their husbands make enough. But why give up your right to work? I'd rather make and spend my money how I choose, not ask my husband for money.
So, okay, just because you're choosing
y'all
not
money.
to work,
That's the fucking concept that motherfuckers don't get.
And I think that decision, which in many cases means to raise children, should also be.
It's y'all money. That's the thing that people don't want to understand. It's money together. When you're with someone, if you're with someone, it's you guys' money. Y'all got money. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to talk before y'all spend it to be more responsible, hold each other accountable and type shit. Like, whenever I hear somebody say my money, your money, I know that relationship is about to end. Flat out.
Welcomed and accepted in the same way that a woman who chooses to work should be welcomed and accepted. I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm just saying there should be the option for both to be accepted.
I think that there are people, and the person who wrote this text sounds like one of them, who say they will believe in choice, but they only believe in the choice that is the same one they make. And by the way, no.
That's the problem that I have with all of your fucking groups. Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ, feminist movement. Y'all believe that y'all should make a choice and everybody should agree with the choice that y'all made, and that's it. Which excludes straight men. All of those groups. Straight white males in particular. That shit, you got to think about that, man. Think about that. You can make your choice. You're allowed to make your choice. And if you want people to respect your choice, you need to respect their choice. And you respect their choice because you respect the fact that you made your choice and what you had to go through and make your choices. That's how I move. That's why I can move around this fucking world and have peace. Because I respect other people's minds. Because I want them to respect mine.
Everyone's giving up their right to work. They're giving up their option to work for now. Maybe later they'll work. But give up of your right to work is a total misunderstanding of what's going on here. Let's further tick some people off, Katie. We'll go through your 3 points you think needs to happen to make feminism more relevant in the modern world today. Number one, embracing our biology.
I don't think we can keep arguing that men and women are the same. This is something that we're the same. We're exactly the same.
Thank you. Wow. Right there. You see what I'm saying? What she said right there was a mouthful. I mean, we are not the same. Black, white, male, female, gay, and straight. We are not the fucking same. Embrace the differences. Just like we embrace the fact that we should be treated the same, we should be loved the same, respected the same, we should be given the same rights to do things, but we are not the fucking same. We were not born the same. Gotta create not two motherfuckers, ain't two twins the same, motherfucker. I got a cousin named Hope and Faith, and Kamani and fuck Maya. And neither one of them motherfuckers is the same. They completely different. Ain't none of us the same, but we should all be respected. I love them all the same. Fuck you mean? Think.
We have the same, skill sets. We have this, we have that. When there are, biological differences that you can't deny when you look at the science. Does different mean not equal? No, it doesn't mean that. It's different, but equal. And I think we need to celebrate that and celebrate our differences to move forward.
Yes.
How does this play out as
because intelligent people agree with me.
Embracing the biology, are you saying, look, there's going to be issues that women have because they're the only ones that can have the babies, and it just is what it is?
100%. I think part of it is a burden of responsibility that, especially when we talk about children, tends to fall on females. We are the carriers of the child. We are the ones who have periods to deal with. We are the ones who, deal with the birth and bringing the child into life. And that is part of a burden of responsibility that has been given to females. I don't know why we need to fight that or why we need to argue against that or try and change that. It's something that I think we should be and embracing our choices with it.
Number two, pro-life is still pro-women.
So, again, I saw this article on Jezebel.com and it was titled, "There's no such thing as a pro-life feminist." And this to me was just a perfect example of how we are excluding ourselves amongst women, amongst feminists by doing this. And as you mentioned, Jerry, pro-choice has come to mean only one choice and one way and a very left-leaning narrative that not everybody identifies with. And as soon as you start saying, I'm not even going to get into discussion about which is right and pro-life, pro-choice, but as somebody who is pro-life, when I hear people say this, I'm automatically excluded from the conversation. And so are a number of different people of faith backgrounds and beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an exclusionary policy as opposed to, you said that in the beginning, feminism was all about inclusiveness.
It was all about inclusiveness. That's where it started. And now it's all about excluding people of different beliefs that go against this narrative. And instead of arguing, we're having so many issues, and instead of putting each other down and you're not a feminist because, you're protecting this unborn child, we could be having conversations about how we could actually be preventing the need for abortion in the first place, which I think all of us could agree with, because for women who do undergo
I like that concept.
There are so many damaging side effects that happen with that, and that's not protecting women. So we need to be looking at preventative measures.
Okay, number three, freeing the nipple does nothing to actually free women. There's a film called Free the Nipple. Is this an actual equality movement? It seems fringe.
So they like to think that free the nipple is a movement. Yes, this equality movement of There's a movie, and it's got these women with pink balaclavas on, and they're running down the streets topless and doing all this sort of thing. So the idea here is that they want to remove the censorship of the female nipple, and that's kind of, why is it that children see violence and they see all this sort of stuff in video games, but they can't even see like a woman's nipple? So where I agree with them is that I do not think that, we should be criminalizing women's bodies in terms of if somebody, is breastfeeding, and they point out in their website that 35 states in the U.S. still do criminalize women's bodies. So we definitely need to take a stand against that. That's not what I'm saying. Breastfeeding should be normalized. And if somebody wants to wear, go topless at a beach, for me, that's not a huge deal. But I don't see beyond that. Once we decriminalized, the right to be topless, we can technically do this right now in Canada, right here.
Well, it's not technically. You actually can.
We can.
But barely anybody does.
Well, that's the thing. So where does this actually get us after we decriminalize women being topless? So where does that take us? How does that actually help women in any other level?
Okay, so somebody just texted in, and we have a few minutes here. 872-1010 is the number. 872-1010.
I like her.
The text is 71010. Kind of responding to the first text I read, Katie. This person writes, I've always steered away from labeling myself feminist, simply because there are certain things I'm all for, but others I stand back and look and think, if she wants to stay among her kids, all the power to her. The birth of feminism came from the idea, the empowerment to empower women to make their own decisions and choices. So why judge another woman for giving up her right to work? That's in quotation marks for that last text message. So she can look after her kids. Isn't that just being a hypocrite?
And I agree with that. That's exactly what I'm talking about. It's all inclusivity. And this texter isn't the only person who has a hard time identifying with feminism. These are Canadian stats that 17% of women and 15% of men see themselves as a feminist. Those are very low numbers.
Would you want that to be 100% both ways?
Well, you want it. You think that the rights of men and women should be equal in terms of their worth and value. I think if you explained it to people like that, they would say yes. But that's not the term. The term's been kind of hijacked to mean this left-leaning, pro-choice narrative that you can only think away, and that's not something that everybody can identify with.
We've talked before on the show about the police who might come out with a message. Well, the one that was recent was a message to young women, watch your drink when you're at a bar so somebody doesn't slip some drug in there. And a feminist organization came out and slammed the police for blaming the victim. And I think the police were just trying to help young women who maybe haven't been in the bar a lot yet and aren't quite yet aware of how terribly wrong things can go. And that's the sort of thing that turns people off.
And exactly, I feel like you can't even offer a suggestion or a point of constructive criticism without being, a victim blamer or this terrible person. And, with that message with the police, I agree with safety prevention measures. When I was, young and just growing up, I was told to, dress in a certain way to attract different kinds of unwanted attention, or to watch my drink, and I don't know if that is something that's holding back women. I think that's just protecting yourself. Like, I have the right to leave my door unlocked at home? Yes, I do. But am I going to lock it? Yes, I am. Just in case something were to happen.
My question about your statistics on rape culture, don't you think that maybe a lot of women who experience this don't want to come? If you don't mind giving an example, you're Jewish, so you know Long Island, New York. There was a case in Long Island, New York, where there was a pediatrician. No, I'm waiting to hear the case. Not everyone in Long Island is Jewish. Don't worry, I don't think you're an anti-Semite. Thank you. But more importantly, in this town,